Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news tonight on Rajya Sabha Television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Voting ends for 4 Lok Sabha and 10 Assembly constituencies across 6 states and a union territory. Counting of votes to be completed on Tuesday. Queues outside banks shorter on Saturday. Mobile ATM vans ease matters in some cities despite hardships. People say they support the government's move. National Investigative Agency carries out searches at 10 places in Mumbai on a case registered against Zakir Naik's banned NGO Islamic Research Foundation. And in cricket, India placed comfortably with 298-run lead against England on the third day of the Vizag Test. England all out for 255 in the first innings after a 5-wicket haul by off-spinner R. Ashwin. By-elections to 4 Lok Sabha constituencies and 10 assembly seats across 6 states and 1 union territory concluded at 5 p.m. today. The elections are being seen as the first major ground test for the ruling BJP in the wake of the demonetization of the 500 and 1000 rupees currency notes by the Modi government. Among the 4 Lok Sabha seats, 2 are from West Bengal and 1 each from Assam and Madhya Pradesh. Among the assembly seats, 3 are from Tamil Nadu, 2 in Tripura, 1 each in Assam, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh, and the Union Territory of Puducherry. While West Bengal and Tamil Nadu recorded an overall 81 and 80% voter turnout respectively, an estimated 30% electorate exercised their franchise till noon today for by-elections to Lakhimpur parliamentary constituency. An estimated 41% voting was recorded till 1 p.m. in the by-elections in Shahdol Lok Sabha constituency, while the turnout was 53.28% in Nepanagar assembly seat in Madhya Pradesh. The counting of votes will take place on Tuesday.
अभी लोग आ रहे हैं, थोड़ा आ रहे हैं। यहाँ पुलिस का बंदोबस्त अच्छा है और मैं यहाँ वोटिंग करने के बाद मैं काम जाना है।
আমাদের এখানে কোনো সময় মানে ঝগড়াঝাটি হয় না, খুব সুন্দরভাবে শান্তিপূর্ণভাবে ভোট হয়। কোনো সময় আমরা এদিকে কোনো মানে দেন দরবার কি জিনিস আমরা ওইদিকে এইসব হয় না।
Well, the BJP issued a whip to its members asking them to be present in the Rajya Sabha for 3 days starting Monday. All the party MPs have been asked to be present from November 21st to November 23rd in the Rajya Sabha. The House has been seen sharp exchanges between the opposition party members and the ruling party on the demonetization issue. The opposition is seeking the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the House during the discussion on demonetization. The ruling party, on the other hand, has objected to some remarks made by the leader of the opposition, Ghulam Nabi Azad, on the deaths caused during the demonetization crisis. Well, it's day 11 of demonetization and the crowds outside banks and ATMs continue. As the opposition parties and some state chiefs voice their opinion against the move, the government is continuing to defend the decision, saying it is a good one.
On Saturday, banks across the country served only their respective customers, refusing to exchange old notes from customers of other banks. However, this restriction was not applicable to senior citizens.
सीनियर सिटीजन के लिए सहूलत दे रहे हैं तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। अभी रोजाना हम सीनियर सिटीजन को एक आधे बैंक में जो है सहूलत है, बाकी के बैंकों में कुछ भी नहीं है। लेडीज, जेंट्स, सीनियर सिटीजन सबको एक ही लाइन में खड़ा कर रहे हैं।
सीनियर सिटीजन को अगर आपको देना है तो डेली सीनियर सिटीजन को दीजिए, पहला प्रेफरेंस उनको दीजिए, एक लाइन बनाइए और दूसरा जो है दूसरे पर्सन को भी दीजिए।
Even though people are facing hardships, there is support for the government's move too. Mobile ATM vans in some cities have also eased things.
ये तो बहुत अच्छी सुविधा कस्टमरों के लिए, जहाँ भी चाहे वहाँ मिल रही है सुविधा, बहुत अच्छी है।
बहुत इजी और बहुत बढ़िया सुविधा है। गवर्नमेंट काले धन बचाने के लिए जो कर रहे हैं बहुत बढ़िया कर रहे हैं, इसमें सहयोग करता हूँ और सभी लोग सहयोग कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा है।
The government believes the move will bring probity in political and administrative work, besides reducing the gap between the rich and the poor. Home Minister Rajnath Singh said the hardships are short-lived as the government is putting in efforts with full sensitivity to normalize the situation.
इसके कारण कुछ लोगों को कुछ समय के लिए असुविधा हो सकती है, लेकिन असुविधा के बावजूद इस देश की जनता इस फैसले का स्वागत कर रही है। मैं सचमुच इस देश की जनता का मैं अभिनंदन करना चाहता हूं। उनके अंदर एक राष्ट्रीय स्वाभिमान का जो भाव है, उसके परिणाम स्वरूप वह कठिनाई कुछ समय के लिए उठाने को तो तैयार हैं, लेकिन राष्ट्र हित में लिए गए इस फैसले का वो स्वागत कर रहे हैं।
देश में अधिक पैसा आ रहा है बैंकों में, और आतंकवाद और माओवादी और बाकी सबों के आर्थिक स्तंभ टूट रहे हैं, तो सामने दिखाई पड़ रहा है। और जनता इस पूरे ऐतिहासिक साहसिक मुहिम के साथ पूरी है, नरेंद्र मोदी जी के साथ।
However, opposition to the move continues. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee accused the NDA government of pursuing discriminatory politics against the state by not releasing new 500 rupee notes in the state. The TMC Supremo, along with party leaders, visited ATMs outside the RBI office in Kolkata and spoke to commoners. Meanwhile, the Income Tax Department has issued hundreds of notices seeking source of funds from individuals and firms who have deposited huge amounts of cash in banks since November 8th. A countrywide inquiry has begun and notices have been sent out. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the tribal economy in our country is dependent largely on agriculture or manual labor, with very few notes of 500 and 1,000 rupees in circulation. Despite this, the demonetization of these currencies has hit them hard. Our correspondent Shyam Sundar brings us this ground report.
Remote areas across India are also feeling the pinch of insufficient currency in circulation. Most of the tribal population is in fact unaware of demonetization. Unaffected by one of the biggest economic reforms in recent times, tribals are going about their daily lives like before. As usual, they come to the weekly markets to sell their produce and leave with anything between 50 and 150 rupees. Or at least that's what they had hoped. But demonetization has hit them hard.
तो फिर आपको दिक्कत क्या? आपके पास तो 4,000 रुपए हैं।
अब तो खुल्ला नहीं मिल रहे ना, खुल्ला 100 वाले नहीं मिल रहे, 500 वाले नहीं मिल रहे।
तो आपके पास जो
अभी अब 200 कोई को देना होगा तो हम फिर 1800 वापस कहाँ से करेंगे? कोई सामान भी लें तो 200 के तो 1800 सामने वाले वापस भी ना करेगा।
आपके पास अभी कितना कैश है, कितना आज खरीदारी कर सकते हैं? बस 2-3 हज़ार है जी। तो आपका काफी नुकसान हो रहा है।
काफी का 90-95%, 90% होना चाहिए।
Tribals usually live miles away from local markets. That is why they travel large distances every single week. Whenever they need extra money for medical expenses or a festival, they sell their stored grains. But in these times, even the big traders are unable to pay them.
कुछ लोगों के थोड़ी बहुत पैसा दे रहे हैं, कुछ के बाकी बाद में दे हैं। ये बोल के दे रहे हैं। अब जितने पोसात दे थे, नहीं तो चिल्लर ही नहीं है अपने पास।
तो बैंकों से आपको चिल्लर
नहीं मिल रही ना चिल्लर तो।
Most tribals have to leave with an IOU slip instead of cash, asking them to come back and collect cash at a later date.
कुल कितने हुए आपके पैसे? 2466 का। तो पैसा मिला नहीं आपको आज?
नहीं मिला भैया, अब नहीं मिले। हम पैसा अभी भैया कहाँ नहीं है
तो क्या ये पर्ची लिख के दे दिए?
हाँ, पर्ची लिख के दे दिए।
दिखा दीजिए एक बार पर्ची।
This is probably the first time since independence that the tribal population is feeling the effects of government's policies and that they are a part of the country's economy. Shyam Sundar's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The ripple effect of demonetization has left thousands of daily wage labourers jobless. While some are waiting for job calls and struggling to make ends meet, others are hoping that they will get their pending payments. RSTV's Anu Diwan brings us this report.
Outside Delhi's industrial area in Patparganj, daily wage labourers feeling the effect of the currency note ban. Some are waiting for work, others for pending payments. Many say they can't decide whether to stand in bank queues or look for work.
पूरा दिन लाइन लगने पर उसमें अभी हमें देखो 4,000 रुपये वापस करेंगे, उसमें से 400 रुपये ढाड़ी हमारी चलेगी, उसमें हमारे कहाँ बचेगा और हम कहाँ उसमें से कहाँ खर्चा करें, कहाँ अपने बच्चा को पालूं, कहाँ अपनी खाए।
The note ban has left daily wage labourers jobless. Dinesh, a JCB driver, has not heard of a work call in 8 days.
काम में तो बहुत फ़र्क है जी, क्योंकि जिसने आपको काम कराना है, किसी को भी काम कराना, उस पास पैसा तो है नहीं, उनके पास आगे से पैसा नहीं आया तो वो काम क्या चलेगा। इसलिए काम का तो बहुत फ़र्क है। बैठे बैठे रहते हैं, टाइम बहुत सारे हमारे कोई पर्सनल ही फर्क, सारे जनता को ही फ़र्क है। बैंक में जाते हैं तो पैसा कभी 1000 मिल जाता है, कभी 2000, कभी लाइन लगाओ पूरे, ऐसे तो कोई समस्या हल नहीं होगा।
Every section of the society has been affected by note ban, but it's the lower strata that seems to be the worst hit. Anu Diwan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to State of the Economy. It's half a demonetization. They call it demonetization, but in a strict sense, in demonetization, you extinguish the currency. You made honest people dishonest. A guy no longer gets work as a daily laborer. He's willing to stand in queue if you pay him 300 or 400 rupees for standing in queue, for exchanging the 4,000 rupees. I think it's a bad idea. They were terribly underprepared and the execution was horrible.
Watch former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram articulate his views on demonetization in State of the Economy.
Ghatam, one of the oldest and most unique percussion instruments of southern India. You can play it not only with your fingers, but palms, wrists and heels as well. You'd be surprised, but the air inside the Ghatam reverberates, creating the musical notes. 5 elements of nature, earth, water, air, fire and space make up the composition of this beautiful musical piece, which has found an apt place in most of the ancient books.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Well, President Pranab Mukherjee fondly remembered former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi on her birth anniversary. Delivering the Indira Gandhi Centennial Lecture, he recalled his association with her and lauded her role in building the nation. Congress Chief Sonia Gandhi also termed Indira as her political mentor.
Indira ji was a key architect of modern India. She played a major role in shaping our country's role and destiny during a very critical period in history. She was unflinching in her concern for the poor and the disadvantaged.
Delivering the Indira Gandhi Centennial Lecture on Saturday in the national capital, President Pranab Mukherjee recalled his association with the former Prime Minister. Praising Indira's role in building the nation, President Mukherjee narrated several incidents that underscored her strong personality.
There were many who advised her in the days of a very dark chapter of Indian history, when Blue Star operation took place. I remember, not in high rhetoric, but in somber voices she told that I know the consequences, but what will have to be done will have to be done, and it will be done.
Congress President Sonia Gandhi attributed her political skills to her mother-in-law, terming former Prime Minister as her mentor. She also used the opportunity to take a dig at her political opponents.
Her sacrifice in preserving a united, diverse, egalitarian India will be remembered, all the more so at a time when, in the quest for shortcuts to greatness, we find leaders willing to undermine the very foundation of our national character.
President Mukherjee did not dwell on the controversial topic of emergency imposed by Indira Gandhi in 1975, saying that a lot has already been said and any addition will be an afterthought. Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also paid tributes to former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi on her 99th birth anniversary. President Pranab Mukherjee, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari and Congress Chief Sonia Gandhi also remembered the former Prime Minister on the occasion. A prayer meeting and a function was held at the AICC headquarters where Sonia Gandhi, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi and former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, along with top party leaders, paid floral tributes to Indira Gandhi. A speech of Indira Gandhi was also played during the program where she had spelt out the responsibilities towards maintaining unity and integrity of the nation as well as protecting the girl child. Rahul Gandhi remembered his grandmother as a warrior and revolutionary, while Sonia Gandhi said one lifetime was not enough to tell the tale of the late leader's story. Three soldiers were killed and 6 others seriously injured in a militant attack in Assam's Tinsukia district on Saturday. The soldiers were ambushed when the vehicle they were travelling in was damaged when an IED planted by suspected Ulfa and NSCN terrorists went off. Home Minister Rajnath Singh took stock of the situation and spoke to Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal. The injured soldiers have been shifted to a military hospital.
तिनसुकिया की घटना को मैं निंदा करता हूं और जो भी इस घटना में शामिल है उसको सही सबक सिखाया जाएगा.
Meanwhile, repeated ceasefire violations by Pakistan continue along the line of control. Early this morning, the Pakistani army targeted Indian posts in the Nowshera sector with mortars and small arms fire. Just hours later, they again resorted to heavy firing on civilian hamlets in the Sundarbani sector. Indian troops gave a befitting reply. There have been no reports of any casualty, injury or damage to property on either side.
Fresh provocation from the Pakistani side on Saturday. Pak Rangers violated the ceasefire twice in less than 6 hours, first targeting Indian posts and villages along the line of control in Nowshera sector of Rajouri district, and then resorting to heavy shelling in civilian areas of Sundarbani sector.
घर से बाहर नहीं निकल पा रहे हैं, इतनी जोर से यहाँ शेलिंग हो रही है. हमारे यहाँ मतलब जीना भी मुश्किल है और मरना भी.
Unprovoked, relentless firing by Pakistan over the last 2 months has affected the normal lives of people living in border areas. People are forced to stay indoors. Children have stopped going to schools.
हमारे बच्चों की जो पढ़ाई शढ़ाई है बहुत ऐसे ही जा रही है. उनकी 3 महीने हो गए बच्चों के घर बैठे हुए. ये बच्चे क्या पढ़ेंगे और क्या करेंगे, इन बच्चों का क्या बनेगा.
Elsewhere in the valley, students are unable to attend school as more than 40 educational institutions have been mysteriously burnt down. The renovation work is yet to begin.
बच्चों की शिक्षा से बढ़कर और कोई पुण्य नहीं हो सकता और कोई कर्तव्य नहीं हो सकता. तो स्कूल जलाना जो है तो कहीं दुनिया में स्वीकार नहीं होता है.
जो हो रहा है ये सिर्फ इंडिसिप्लिन नहीं है, ये सिर्फ क्यास नहीं है, ये टोटल अनार्की हो रही है, अनार्की है. और अब और स्कूल के टीचर रक्षा करेंगे तो पुलिस और सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस का क्या काम रह गया है.
However, normalcy is slowly limping back in the valley after more than 4 months of unrest. Mobile internet services on postpaid connections have been restored. Flight operations at the Srinagar airport have also been resumed partially. After months, people were seen on the streets going about their daily activities.
अच्छा फील होगा, मतलब हमारे एग्जाम्स है उससे हम मतलब नेट मदद कर सकता है.
रिलैक्सेशन तो मिल जाएगी, मतलब हर किसी खासकर जो एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज है उनके लिए तो रियल मिलनी चाहिए. और एसेंशियल मतलब बाकी भी चीजें हैं बहुत सारी हैं. विंटर आने वाला है, अगर ऐसा कुछ नहीं मिलेगा तो आगे तो बहुत सख्ती होने वाली है.
Kashmir had been under lockdown since July following the death of Hizbul terrorist Burhan Wani, which triggered massive protests in the valley. Repeated calls by separatists further prolonged the shutdown, causing massive inconvenience to residents. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The National Investigative Agency carried out searches at 10 places in Mumbai on a case registered against controversial preacher Zakir Naik's NGO Islamic Research Foundation. This after the government banned Zakir Naik's Islamic Research Foundation for 5 years last week.
The National Investigation Agency conducted raids at 10 premises of controversial preacher Zakir Naik's Islamic Research Foundation in Mumbai. The raids come a day after the NIA registered a case against Naik for his alleged involvement in unlawful activities and inciting hatred among religious communities through televised speeches. On Tuesday, the foundation was banned under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act in a cabinet meeting chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
During the course of the investigation under UAPA, they are entitled to visit the premises or the place of the organization and carry out their way of investigation. And IRF has all along been a law-abiding trust, and they are ready to fully cooperate with the investigating agency.
Naik came under the scanner of the Indian government after Bangladesh banned Peace TV for inciting attack on a Dhaka cafe in July, in which 22 people were killed. Naik has been out of India ever since reports emerged that his preachings influenced one of the Dhaka attackers. The Maharashtra police has also registered criminal cases against Naik for his alleged involvement in radicalization of youths and luring them into terror activities. The Islamic tele-evangelist is already banned in the United Kingdom, Canada and Malaysia for his hate speeches against other religions. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Here's a roundup of the other national news nationwide. A dozen passengers were injured on Saturday after 4 coaches of the Bathinda-Jodhpur passenger train derailed in Rajasthan's Sri Ganganagar district. Now, the Bikaner-Suratgarh railway track has been blocked due to the incident and restoration work has started. Several trains have been diverted and the Jaipur-Suratgarh, Lalgarh, Abohar passenger and Delhi-Bikaner express have been cancelled. 5 Naxals were gunned down by security forces in the jungles of Chhattisgarh's Maoist hotbed, Bastar. The skirmish between personnel and ultras took place on Friday night. This is the second biggest encounter in Bastar this month after bodies of 6 Naxals, including 3 women, were recovered post a gun battle in Dantewada on November 16. No harm was reported to the security forces and more details were awaited. The 36th India International Trade Fair has been opened for the general public starting Saturday. Entry into the fair is free for senior citizens and children below 12 years of age. This year's edition of the yearly event kicked off with nearly 7,000 participants and is based on Prime Minister Modi's dream team of Digital India. Let's now shift focus and bring you up to speed with some international news and global buzz. A heavy snowstorm recently hit many parts of northeast China's Heilongjiang province and Jilin province, severely affecting local residents by disrupting traffic. The snowstorm began late on Friday night and enveloped the region, including the capital city of Harbin and Mudanjiang city. A total of 7 highways within the province were closed. Meanwhile, more than 14,000 environmental workers and nearly 1,200 excavators were deployed to clear the ice and snow off the roads to ensure traffic safety in the area. Thousands of Indonesians held a peaceful rally on Saturday against growing racial and religious intolerance, calling for peace and unity among the multicultural nation. Dressed in red and white shirts, religious leaders, members of human rights groups, lawmakers and others gathered in front of the city's landmark national monument before marching along the central Jakarta street. Thousands of anti-government protesters marched in Malaysia's capital on Saturday, demanding the resignation of Prime Minister Najib Razak over his alleged involvement in a multi-billion-dollar misappropriation scandal. Clad in yellow shirts, protesters marched from various spots towards the heart of Kuala Lumpur amid tight security. On to some cricket now, where India posted 98 runs for the loss of 3 wickets at stumps on day 3 to take a mammoth 298-run lead in the second test against England at Visakhapatnam. Skipper Virat Kohli and Ajinkya Rahane batted well after India lost 3 early wickets. Earlier, England were all out for 255 in reply to India's first innings of 455. For England, Ben Stokes scored 70 runs and Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow scored 53 each. Resuming the day at 103 for 5, England added 152 in their first innings. For India, spinner Ravichandran Ashwin claimed his 22nd 5-wicket haul and his first against England, while Shami, Yadav and Jadeja claimed a wicket apiece. Here's a roundup of the other sports news in Sports Beat. Rio Olympic silver medalist PV Sindhu has advanced to the final of the China Open badminton tournament. Sindhu defeated Korea's Sung Ji-hyun 11-21, 23-21, 21-19 in the semi-final. She will take on local favourite Sun Yu in Sunday's title clash. Hockey India on Friday announced an 18-member Indian junior men's team for the Uttar Pradesh Junior World Cup scheduled to be held at Lucknow from December 8th to 18th. The team includes drag flicker and defender Harmanpreet Singh. India will begin their campaign against Canada on December 8th and will face England on December 10th and will place South Africa on December 12th as part of their Pool D League matches. Magnus Carlsen and Sergei Kryakin played to their 6th straight draw at the World Chess Championship in New York on Friday. Challenger Kryakin and defending champion Carlsen agreed to a draw after just 32 moves, with the match lasting only 90 minutes. The half point earned for this latest draw gives both players 3 points apiece in the scheduled 12-round championship. The first player to reach 6.5 points will win the competition. Andy Murray secured his place in the ATP World Tour final semi-final with a resounding victory over Switzerland's Stan Wawrinka. Murray crushed Stan Wawrinka 6-4, 6-2 to win his group and stay on course for a season-ending climax with Novak Djokovic. He will now face Canada's Milos Raonic in Saturday's semi-final. Well, that's it on this edition of the News Tonight. Good night.